people here are quite familiar with the university, so I don't need to go into too much detail on that. The important point to make about what the university is up to. Now, I'm in the operational side of the university, and it's only in the last couple of years that the university on that side of it has looked at sustainability as something it needs to be involved in. And so they decided they were going to come up with an environmental management strategy. So they came up with a plan that was very high level for the last 3 years, and it's gotten us to a certain point where it's provided staffing. So I'm now the sustainability manager full-time. We have 2 part-time sustainability staff, and we have an energy officer. So that's pretty good in the last 18 months, so we're pretty excited about that commitment. We were funded for the first time last year with a real budget, so for the first year and a half we had to go cajole other people to do things sustainable, and now we have a budget to accomplish some real things. One of those is development of a sustainable transport strategy, and while we've been scoping and defining what that means for the university around the state, and the fact that we also have campuses on the mainland now as well, a lot of action moving people between our campuses, within our campuses, in our satellite campuses, CBD versus Sandy Bay, etc. It obviously came out that peak oil is going to be a significant issue for the university. Just on that level alone, not even taking into account its effect on our international students, which is a main funding input to our budget cycles, and our local students that live at home in their regional areas and drive their single occupancy vehicles into the university. So we've taken that idea that we're putting together a sustainable transport strategy. We had a workshop where we had people from the executive level down to students. There were 35 people in the room, and we really got them thinking about, well, what is sustainable transport? And I started mentioning things like peak oil and oil prices and how that might impact the university on a broader scale. So I slowly introduced the idea that peak oil is something the university needs to be looking at seriously. In a very positive manner, the Environmental Management Committee that I report to took that on board and said, yes, we do actually want to learn more about this core. Yeah, we'll talk about sustainable transport, but this peak oil thing that you're talking about, risk management issue here, and I said, huge risk management issue for the university holistically, not just in transport. And so once I got their attention, they were able to allow me to pursue it a little bit more. So things have been happening over the last couple of months. Chris Harries came in, thank you, Chris, from Peak Oil Tasmania and spoke to the Environmental Management Committee, which let me take it to the next step. So Elliot Fishman was good enough, you'll be speaking to you later today, he was good enough to come into the university yesterday and spend over an hour talking with Environmental Management Committee members, some executive staff of the university, as well as a number of the sustainability reps around the state. And there were people in the Launceston room, we just couldn't see them because the camera was faced the wrong way. But they heard everything you said, and they were very excited. So it is happening around the state. We are doing some things around it. It's early days yet for the university around peak oil, but it is now on the agenda, and I'm very happy to not have to go through the motions and things at local council to get things done. I just have to get a couple of executive senior management team people on board, and we'll turn it into hopefully a project, because one of my main goals is to incorporate as much of an academic thing into operational activities as well. So one of my main goals is what I'm calling an academic operations integration program, and this will be a project within that we will actually get students and staff to participate in our peak oil response plan, or whatever we're going to call it, contingency plan, energy percent action plan, whatever we decide to call it, to understand the risks to the university, which obviously has a tremendous impact on the state of Tasmania, being one of the largest employers. We are a main player in all 3 major regions. The only place that we don't really play a big part in is really the West Coast. But we are very active in all the other regions and have a tremendous impact on those regional economies. Planning schemes will come into play a little bit on some of the things that we're up to as well. But that's really just to keep it to time. Peak oil, that's what we're doing at the university around peak oil. There's lots of other things within our environmental management plan for the next 5 years that we'll be incorporating, with the underlying understanding that community resilience, being the university community and our part in the broader community, actually has a very big role to play. So community resilience is my big thing, and sustainability is part of that, obviously, and then peak oil is going to be another topic within that broader picture. So that's pretty much all I need to give. Watch this space. In a year, hopefully I'll be able to give you some really good details about what we're doing.